Let's analyze together Canopy Growth Corporation.
Let's see what's going on. CGC stock minus 23% today. What a crazy day. First of all, remember to read the disclaimer right here and also in the description below. Very interesting price action that we have right there. We are talking about an upside movement from the lowest part of the chart of more than 400%, and to current prices we are talking about 300% after that correction of 23%. Very interesting. And what can you tell us about this almost perfect retest, Alvaro, right there?
Yeah, almost perfect. I would say it's completely perfect. Look at that. Wow. We are talking about the this line, the resistance level of long-term resistance level. Actually, it was taken, from March 2021 till today. We can clearly see right here the first time that it touches the area in September 2023, and the second one in March 2024 with a huge breakout, and then the retest. Like classic retest, it could be taken from a book.
Yeah, exactly. It's almost perfect and very interesting to see also the volume in this candle right here, this last green candle that we had
Wow.
yesterday with a lot of volume, because we are using the trading view platform. And as you may know, the bigger the candle, the bigger the volume. That's what it indicates. And, it was completely crazy. And today, the volume, is in the same sense, but in the bearish territory. So very interesting, guys. What do you think it's happening? Why do you think this is going on? Because we have some news. We're going to share them with you, but we don't know if this is exactly the reason behind it, because there is also a lot of hype around this type of stocks. So maybe when the hype is over, the stock starts going lower, or maybe just people taking profits and planning to buy lower parts. What do you think? Let's read this very fast, but it's something related with changing the rescheduling the cannabis from a schedule 1 drug to a schedule 3 drug, something like that. And that would mean like better options or tax breaks for that companies, in that field. So fewer restrictions, and that would be something positive. But from my opinion, that doesn't explain this reverse in the price that we saw since March, this year.
Yeah, actually, you can clearly see, the volume that we have right here. We have one area of volume, completely bearish, and I would say in stocks like this, when you have a small volume, normally this is not good, Normally it works. You can clearly see right here the first time it happened back in September 2023. A lot of volume right there, and again the stock going up like crazy, and it happened again right here in March 2024, exactly the same day 1 year later. So obviously you gotta be careful, because the first time it happened back in 2023, look at what happened. We're talking about like a downtrend of, let's take a look at it. We are talking about minus 85%. That's a lot, So even though the stock is going up, I think there is a lot of risk involved. If we see again the same thing, and I don't say. I'm not saying it's gonna happen. I don't know what's gonna happen, but you have to be careful about the possible scenarios. This stock is in losses. We can clearly see right here the net income, and when the net income is in losses, normally that is not positive. And exactly we have the earnings very soon, and if the earnings are bad, and you can clearly see the estimate is minus 0.32, which means essentially losses, that could mean that the stock is going down again. So obviously, when you have a move based only on news or hype, normally they could, they could turn around, they can go back to where it was before.
Yeah, exactly. We don't know what's happening. We don't know the future, but as usual, being prepared for both scenarios, in our opinion, is the best possible option. As traders, we must know what we are going to do next and know what the market is going to do. So, for instance, let's see the forecast and let's see what these analysts of Wall Street think about this stock. We have 10 analysts offering 1 year price forecast for Canopy Growth Corporation, max estimate of $18.15 plus 58% more or less. Then we have the average minus 47%. Wow, very interesting, because we don't normally tend to see like negative forecast in this type of, in this analysis. And then we have the minimum one minus 74%. What do you think about it, guys? Do you agree with this forecast, or are you more in the maximum side, the minimum one? Are you bearish? Are you bullish? Or you are just looking at this in order to learn some trading lessons? Let us know in the comments below. We are happy always to read them.
I remember, Enrique, a stock that I think it was Soundhound. And Soundhound, we experienced something like this, like a stock, when we first analyzed it, there was still some run, but it went like completely crazy. The stock skyrocketed, and then we started to see like the price target to be like a minus 40, minus 50, minus 60, because in the end, when they reach the area, the average scenario, the positive scenario, then it starts to go negative, and this is what's happening. We are experiencing like a huge rally in this stock, like all possible positive scenarios have been reached. We're talking about like starting more than 400% in just 1 month or 1 month and a half. And that's insane. I mean, you don't see that every day.
Yeah, exactly. This is completely crazy as usual in this type of stocks that we analyze, but in this case, even more. And this analyst offering this forecast, we can also see the EPS. And if we take a look at the quarterly, I think it's very interesting to see how the surprise factor has been negative in all of them, except in the first quarter of 2023.
Mm-hmm.
And then also something interesting I wanted to talk about is like the surprise factor is always very high. I mean, in the negative sense, because
Wow.
the estimate is usually minus 370%, minus 1700%. Only that one that was plus 60%, it was also like extreme, but in the other side. So very interesting to notice why does this happen, because normally you tend to expect like if the estimate doesn't go as you think, you may have to adapt it, and then they have like to put
Yeah,
it more
they
clear. But
they have a prediction, like, okay, they could reach that target, and but they don't deviate that far away. I mean, that's a lot. We're talking about a huge difference,
yeah,
the
it seems
reality
like
from
it's
the expectations.
unpredictable for them. It
Mm-hmm.
seems like that,
Even for
like
them,
they
even
can't.
for analysts.
Yeah, it seems like that. Like they can't predict it, and you have these crazy results. These surprise factors, completely crazy.
In that sense, I would say the annual estimate should be more reliable. And let's take a look at it. And that's interesting as well, because if we can
Yeah, also.
compare the data, it's completely crazy. I mean, we have the estimate of minus 4.85, and last year was minus 44. I mean, we're talking about 10 times less of the negative income. I mean, or 10 times better. I mean, you compare that. So very interesting data. I mean, it's completely chaotic.
Yeah, exactly. What do you think about this also, guys? Do you have access to that information? And if this is the first time you see it, what do you think about it? Very interesting. We are not going to tell anything else about this stock. If you have more interest, we can make another video next week to see how this craziness continues developing, if the price goes lower from this actual level and it visits again this kind of retest that made in the past, or if we see higher prices from here continuing this green volume that we had right there. Very interesting. Let's start that debate in the comments also with the reasons behind it. Welcome to Trading HT. Thank you very much for subscribing and becoming part of Trading HT. All the honest traders, have a nice week. Take care. We love you.